On a crisp May morning, with fresh greenery all around, Rebecca Thompson woke up before her 6:30 a.m. alarm clock, as usual. After checking on her husband Michael's peaceful breathing beside her, she quietly slipped out of bed. Working on a holiday again. Rebecca sighed softly as she looked up at the living room clock. Last night too, her husband had stayed late at the precinct. Since his promotion to chief detective was decided, Michael's life had changed significantly. Standing in the kitchen, Rebecca quickly began preparing breakfast. Blueberry pancakes were her daughter Emily's favorite. As if drawn by the sweet aroma wafting from the frying pan, she heard footsteps coming down the stairs. "Good morning, Mom." Emily appeared in the kitchen, her ponytail swaying, already dressed in her school uniform. At 14, her daughter had begun to show such a grown-up expression. "Good morning, Emily. Did you sleep well?" "Yes, but my head is a bit." At Emily's words, Rebecca momentarily stopped what she was doing. Her daughter's migraines had been occurring more frequently lately. The doctor said stress was the cause, but no one could provide a clear answer about its source. "If you start feeling unwell, go to the nurse's office right away." "I know. I'll be fine." Emily smiled at her mother's worried expression. However, it seemed like she was hiding something behind that smile. "Good morning." Michael came down the stairs, already changed into his suit and tie. Before sitting down for breakfast, he had developed the habit of checking his mobile phone. "Michael, will you be late again today?" "Yes, there's an important case meeting." "Don't wait up for dinner." The conversation was brief and businesslike. The family laughter that once filled their breakfast time had somehow disappeared. "I'm heading out." Michael hurriedly took just one bite of pancake, drained his coffee, and rushed toward the entrance. "Dad, the good luck." Emily's words were cut off by the sound of the door closing. The good luck hug she used to give her father every morning had often been skipped lately. Through the window, Rebecca saw Linda Wilson, their next-door neighbor, preparing for work. As Linda loaded packages into her Amazon delivery van, their eyes met, and Rebecca gave a slight wave. Their neighbor of 15 years always offered a warm smile. However, this morning, she wore a somewhat worried expression. "Mom, I'm going too." Emily stood up, shouldering her backpack. "Be careful. Call me right away if you start feeling unwell." "I will." "Have a good day at work, Mom." After seeing her off, Rebecca began cleaning up while lost in thought. Was Michael's change simply due to his busy work schedule? She felt that Emily's health issues weren't unrelated to the changes in their home atmosphere. While checking her schedule as a real estate agent, Rebecca suppressed the anxiety growing in her chest. She had an appointment to show a new property in the afternoon. She needed to finish the paperwork at the office before then. On her way to the entrance, she caught a glimpse of herself reflected in the large living room window. Beneath the expression of a businesswoman in a navy suit, signs of fatigue were visible. Still, Rebecca straightened her back and stepped forward to face the new day. Rebecca took a sip of coffee while checking the schedule on her desk. Through the office window, she could see the residential neighborhood embraced by fresh greenery. The peaceful May morning was already approaching noon. In this season, Washington's upscale residential area was adorned with colorful flowers. She remembered the excitement and joy when she and Michael moved to this town 15 years ago. As a police officer, her husband had been a proud guardian of the community's safety. The white colonial style house they chose together. Emily, who had grown up there. Everything was supposed to be a perfect family story. Just then, her smartphone vibrated. Emily. Rebecca frowned at the message displayed from her daughter. She should be in class. Mom, I feel sick. My head is splitting. Dad's home but he seems busy. Please come home. Rebecca's hands trembled. The migraine attack she'd been worried about since morning. And despite Michael being home, what worried her more were the quotation marks around the word busy. It seemed as if Emily had some hidden message in her words. Jane, I'm sorry. Could you please cancel this afternoon's property showing? While calling out to her colleague, Rebecca was already standing up. She grabbed her bag and picked up her phone. Her fingers trembled with anxiety as she tried to type a reply to Emily. I'll be right home. Lie down and wait for me. Before leaving her desk, she looked at her daughter's message again. Something wasn't right. Since Michael's promotion was decided, their family life had gradually changed. Working on holidays, late returns home, diminishing conversations. And Emily's increasingly frequent migraines. Perhaps all of these were warning signs. While driving, Rebecca's mind was in chaos. Michael being home was unexpected. He had said last night that he had an important meeting. Recently, he seemed to be avoiding family time, using work at the precinct as an excuse. The car stopped at a red light. Her hands gripped the steering wheel tightly. Something was wrong. Just as she thought this, her phone rang again. Thank you, Mom, please hurry. Emily's second message. The text conveyed her daughter's pain and anxiety. Usually, having her father at home would be reassuring, but along with her urgency, a mother's sixth sense was sounding an alarm. The sense of something amiss in this situation. Michael being home. Emily's condition. None of it was normal. Passing the Kroger supermarket, she entered the familiar residential area. The wide streets with their well-maintained lawns and blooming spring flowers. That peaceful scenery now felt strangely disconcerting. As she was about to turn the corner to her house, a familiar figure caught her eye. Linda. Her neighbor Linda Wilson was standing in front of the house in her Amazon delivery uniform. She should normally be making deliveries in her assigned area at this time. She rushed toward Rebecca as if she had been waiting for her arrival. Her expression carried a tension Rebecca had never seen before. Rebecca, wait. Don't go inside right now. Linda spread her arms to stop Rebecca as she tried to get out of the car. A serious, dark shadow clouded her expression. For 15 years, she had watched over the daily lives of residents in this area. Her observant eye as a former nurse remained sharp and caring. But Emily isn't feeling well. I need to go in. Before that, there's something you need to see. Linda's voice was low and heavy. She pulled out her smartphone with trembling hands. I took these an hour ago. I noticed while making deliveries. The first photo displayed on the screen showed Rebecca's living room, clearly visible through the large window. And there. A small cry escaped Rebecca's throat. The photo showed Emily lying on the sofa. And behind her, two adults embracing, Michael and a young blonde woman. Jessica. The new administrative officer at the police station. Rebecca knew her name. A woman recently assigned to Michael's department. A woman with flashy makeup and ambitious eyes. Could it be that she? There's more. Linda showed her more photos one after another. Pictures taken through the bedroom window facing the backyard. The two of them going up the stairs. And most heartbreaking of all, Emily, alone. Rebecca's heart froze at the photo of her daughter curled up on the sofa, suffering from a migraine attack, completely ignored. Abandoning their beloved daughter. As a mother, this was absolutely unforgivable. Why did you take these photos? I've been doing delivery work in this area for 15 years. I'm used to spotting unusual situations. And Linda hesitated for a moment. I've been through something similar. With my ex-husband. That's why I couldn't just look the other way. Linda's voice mixed the coolness of a former nurse, the anger of a longtime neighbor, and the pain of past experiences. But I'm worried about Emily. As Rebecca tried to head toward the house again, Linda gently grabbed her arm. Let's call the police. This is child neglect. And adultery and betrayal. Cold words fell from Rebecca's lips. Her husband was chief detective at the police station. Inappropriate conduct while on duty was more than just adultery, it was a serious matter. A betrayal of the police organization. And above all, a betrayal of family. I'll be a witness. I have all the photo and video evidence. To protect you and Emily. Rebecca slowly nodded at Linda's words. With trembling fingers, she operated her phone. Before pressing the emergency number, she looked into Linda's eyes once more. Her neighbor's eyes showed strong determination and kindness. Thank you. Of course. Protecting families is the community's responsibility. That's why we're here. Her finger no longer hesitated as she pressed the emergency number. This was the beginning of a battle to protect her family, and above all, her beloved daughter. The first patrol car arrived just minutes after the call. As two, then three more cars arrived, their blue and red lights flashing, uniformed officers stepped out one after another. Neighbors began peering through their windows at the scene. Are you Rebecca Thompson? The first female officer who approached placed a gentle hand on Rebecca's shoulder. Her nameplate read Lieutenant Sarah Johnson. Her eyes held the calmness of experience. Yes, my daughter is inside. She's having a migraine attack. Don't worry. First, could you tell me the details of the situation? Linda stepped forward, offering her phone. I have evidence. Photos and videos. Lieutenant Johnson quickly grasped the situation and requested backup on her radio. Her voice carried an urgent tension. Just then, the front door burst open, and Michael rushed out. His usually neat suit was disheveled, his tie askew. Behind him, Jessica appeared, her makeup smeared. What's the meaning of this? Calling the police. Michael's voice shook with anger, but his eyes were wide with fear. His position as chief detective, his reputation within the police force, everything was about to crumble. That desperation distorted his expression. There's nothing wrong here. This is just a misunderstanding. Just as Jessica tried to shout, uniformed officers quickly surrounded them both. Mr. Michael Thompson, please remain where you are. Lieutenant Johnson's voice rang out clearly. Johnson. I'm your superior. Withdraw this order. I'm sorry, Chief. Right now, you're a suspect. At that moment, a weak voice came from inside the house. Mom. Emily appeared at the entrance. Her face was pale, both hands pressing against her head. Tears filled her eyes. As Rebecca tried to rush to her, the sound of an approaching ambulance siren grew closer. Wait, Rebecca. Linda held her back. Let them secure the evidence first. For Emily's sake too. At those words, Rebecca came to her senses. Indeed, she needed to act calmly now. The existence of the photo evidence would reveal all the truth. A veteran male officer quietly approached Michael. The eyes of his former colleagues showed sadness and disappointment. I've done nothing wrong. This is. Michael's voice gradually grew smaller. Beside him, Jessica suddenly broke down crying. We love each other. No one can interfere. Her hysterical screams drew the attention of neighbors. Several cars had already stopped on the street, creating a tense atmosphere. Paramedics tried to get Emily onto a stretcher. Rebecca gripped her daughter's hand tightly. It's okay, Mom's here with you. Emily nodded weakly. Her eyes held the weight of truth she had been hiding for so long. I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't tell you. Dad changed. You did nothing wrong. Everything will be all right now. As mother and daughter conversed, officers efficiently secured the scene. Evidence collection, witness interviews, area control. Everything proceeded with professional precision. Just then, a black SUV cut through the line of patrol cars. A man in civilian clothes stepped out. An internal affairs badge gleamed on his chest. I'm Robert Williams from Internal Affairs. His appearance changed the atmosphere at the scene. Misconduct by police officers, especially high-ranking officials, was treated as a serious matter affecting the entire organization. Mrs. Thompson, may I speak with you in detail? Williams' voice was surprisingly gentle. After your daughter's examination, of course. Her health is the top priority right now. Rebecca nodded gratefully. As she was about to get into the ambulance, Linda called out. I'm coming too. My old nursing experience might be helpful. Under the high sun and blue sky, the ambulance siren wailed again. Michael being put into a patrol car, Jessica crying hysterically, officers carrying out evidence. Everything burned into Rebecca's eyes as if in slow motion. Gripping Emily's hand, she thought, this isn't the end. Rather, it's the beginning of a new battle. Ma'am, we're ready to depart. The paramedic's voice brought Rebecca back to reality. In her mind, her past life flashed by like a film reel. But at the same time, new determination was sprouting. To protect her beloved daughter. To restore lost justice. And to rebuild her own life. The ambulance started moving. The siren's sound announced a new beginning. The silence in the city hospital's waiting room was marked only by the ticking of the clock's second hand. It had been an hour since Emily's examination began. Rebecca sat in the hard chair, clasping her hands tightly. Beside her, Linda silently offered her coffee. Thank you. Just then, the examination room door opened. A middle-aged female doctor approached with a gentle voice. Her expression revealed a serious situation. Emily's condition is stable. However, the doctor paused once, then continued carefully. It seems repeated psychological stress has been causing her migraines. She must have been suffering for quite some time. A sharp pain shot through Rebecca's chest. As a mother, she felt guilty for not noticing her daughter's suffering. "Can I see her?" "Yes, please." Though the police are also waiting. They need her statement. Entering the hospital room, Emily lay in bed by the window. She was breathing peacefully while receiving an IV drip. When Rebecca held her daughter's hand, she opened her eyes slightly. "Mom. I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner." "No, I'm the one who's sorry. For not noticing." Internal Affairs investigator Robert Williams watched their quiet dialogue from the corner of the room. He seemed to be waiting for the right moment. "Young lady, may I ask you a few questions?" Emily nodded slightly. There was no more hesitation in her eyes. "Dad started changing about 6 months ago." Her daughter's testimony was surprisingly detailed. The changes in Michael's return times, the decrease in family conversations, and the beginning of his relationship with Jessica. Everything coincided with when his promotion to chief detective was decided. "At first, I thought he was just busy with work. But..." Emily's voice trembled. "One day, when I went to the police station for something, I saw Dad and Jessica." The testimony revealed even more shocking facts. Inappropriate relationships within the police station, rendezvous during working hours, and even the possibility of organizational cover-ups. Dad said, "Don't tell anyone." Rebecca's heart clenched at her daughter's tears. But at the same time, she felt deep love for her daughter's courage in speaking the truth. Meanwhile, another shocking development was occurring at the police station. Background checks on Jessica Miller revealed terrifying facts. She had used similar tactics at multiple police stations in the past. Approaching married police executives, obtaining information about promotions and privileges. In the process, personal information leaks and investigation information breaches had occurred. Requesting a statement from suspect Michael Thompson. In the interrogation room, Michael sat slumped before his former colleagues. I just. His weak voice echoed in the stark room. "When my promotion was decided, she approached me. At first, I thought it was just administrative consultation. But..." His statement gradually revealed the darkness within the organization. Police internal factions, promotion maneuvering, and Jessica's schemes taking advantage of it all. "By the time I realized, I couldn't turn back. She knew everything. My weaknesses, desires, and fears." However, Michael's words of regret couldn't change the irreversible reality. Williams returned to the hospital and shared the new facts with Rebecca. "Ma'am, this is no longer just a domestic issue." He continued quietly. "The possibility of organizational corruption has emerged. Your testimony could be key to revealing the truth." At those words, Rebecca felt a strong determination. This wasn't mere revenge. This was a battle to restore justice. Linda's photos and videos will be crucial evidence. Rebecca turned a grateful look toward her friend who had been silently supporting her. "We have the community's support." Linda's words carried strength. Support offers had already arrived from local social workers and church groups. At dusk, the setting sun through the hospital room window gently illuminated Emily's sleeping face. Rebecca had just finished a phone call with her lawyer. "We'll proceed with the divorce preparations." Emily's custody will undoubtedly go to you. The lawyer's words heralded the beginning of a new life. Mom! Emily called out in a thin voice as she woke up. What's going to happen to us now? Rebecca answered while gently stroking her daughter's hair. Don't worry. We have people on our side. And most importantly, she smiled strongly, we have each other. 4 months later, Rebecca and Emily had moved to a different street in the Washington district. Though not far from their old house, it was filled with the breath of new life. Mom, the pancakes smell good. Emily's footsteps coming down the stairs sounded lighter than before. The migraine attacks had stopped occurring. This morning is special. Mother and daughter sat facing each other at the breakfast table with the scent of blueberries wafting through the air. Gone was the previous tension, replaced only by a peaceful atmosphere. Hey, Mom. Emily put down her fork and spoke with slight hesitation. Yesterday, I got an email from Dad. Rebecca's hand stopped for a moment. From prison. Michael Thompson had received a 2-year prison sentence for abuse of authority and violation of public service ethics. His misconduct with Jessica Miller had left deep wounds in the police organization. Dad says he's in a rehabilitation program. And he wants to see me. Emily's voice mixed with complex emotions. Rebecca carefully chose her words. It's up to you. There's no need to force yourself. Yes. I'd like to see him someday. But not yet. Rebecca quietly nodded at her daughter's words, which showed her growth. The doorbell rang, and Linda arrived for her morning greeting. She still stops by during her Amazon deliveries. Good morning, you two. Did you see today's news? Linda showed them her tablet screen. Police reform bill passed, strengthening anti-corruption measures. The incident had sparked reforms in the police organization. Establishment of internal reporting systems, strengthening harassment prevention measures, and enhancement of family support programs. Your courage brought about change. Linda's words deeply moved Rebecca. Indeed, the battle had been painful. However, its results had brought positive changes to society. By the way, how's the new job going? Rebecca nodded brightly at Linda's question. She now works as a counselor at a domestic violence support center. It's a job where she uses her own experiences to support people suffering in similar situations. Yesterday, we had a new client. She came with her children. As the two chatted endlessly, Emily hurriedly changed into her uniform. Mom, I'm heading out. Be careful. Oh, right. Rebecca handed her a small paper bag. Your lunch. Good luck at cheerleading practice. Emily's eyes sparkled. Cheerleading was a new challenge she had taken up after moving. Her smile there showed no trace of the dark shadows from before. Aunt Linda, see you later. Watching her daughter leave through the entrance, Rebecca let out a deep sigh. She looks happy. Rebecca smiled at Linda's words. Yes. She really does. The morning sun streaming through the kitchen window gently illuminated the blueberry pancakes on the table. The scene seemed like a symbol of their new life. Oh, that reminds me. Linda said as if suddenly remembering. You're coming to the community barbecue on Sunday, right? Everyone's waiting. It's an event where church groups and people who had supported them gather. Rebecca answered with a genuine smile. Of course. Emily's looking forward to it too. Just then, her smartphone vibrated. A message from the support center. Can we consult about a new case? Rebecca immediately typed her reply. Yes, I'm waiting. She now knows her mission. To be there for people who are hurting. It was also the best way to repay those who had supported her in the past. Well, I need to get to work too. As she watched Linda's back as she left, Rebecca thought. Life sometimes takes unexpected turns. However, if you have the courage to face the truth, a path will surely open. And most importantly, you don't need to bear it alone. A small houseplant sat by the window of their new home. It was a plant Emily carefully tended to. Its new shoots stretching toward the morning sun seemed to symbolize their life ahead. Well then. Rebecca stood up and grabbed her bag. Another day to light small beacons of hope in someone's life. Outside, the autumn breeze blew pleasantly. As if announcing the beginning of a new season.